The point that I'm trying to make about Dr. McCreary is this. And towards the end of our conversation, he says to me, reach out to me if you need to just bounce some more things off, in conversation. Those kinds of things you don't take for granted. We have the president of a theological seminary sharing with me that he's willing to spend time to invest in my path. The way that I didn't know that he was going to be the president of a theological seminary when we first met. Those kinds of things you don't take for granted. They don't just happen. And that's the brilliancy of what I'm saying as it relates to correlating that with how the Bible is compiled. These things you don't just take loosely and say, which was not my intent, mind you, when I made the statement with my mother. I was not saying to her that we need to discard the Bible. I was just saying that it was not necessary to the purpose of salvation. We have become to understand it to be so because we use it as a tool for salvation. Um, but the early church didn't have it. In fact, the early church had the Jewish scriptures, which is a part of our Bible. So, when you talk about the Bible, you really have to understand that the earth isn't dimensional. Isn't one dimensional. The Bible isn't one dimensional. I said this some time ago. Those of you who have been following on Facebook, which might not be many, because that was the intent of me getting on Facebook. I said years ago, this thing we call life is layered. Everything that exists is layered, and so you have to understand